Hello everyone, welcome back to a World of Warship Blitz video. This is a different video. This is the first in a series of videos of how to knife fight in the Royal Navy cruisers, particularly knife fighting destroyers, although it won't be the only topic covered in this series of videos, but it is focused around Royal Navy destroyers. And the reason for that is that as I've gone through and been making this channel, I've been trying to provide a sort of a library of all ships that I can get my hands on, which is pretty much all of them now, but so that people can have a look and say, is this ship for me? So even if I don't use it to its best, they can sort of see it in operation and get a sense, is this a way that I want to go? And I try and give commentary. I try not to put too much of my own bias on it, like for example the Graf Spey, which I have yet to make a video of. I'm really struggling with that ship, but I can see how other people would like it. So, you know, I'm trying to make sure they're trying to be positive focused videos, except where the ship may have no redeeming qualities. Looking at you, Marblehead. Anyway, well, it does have one redeeming quality. It has very nice looking camouflage. But, right, anyway, back to the topic. So in order to cover this off, there's going to be 3 parts to this course. The first part is going to be the basics. What do you need to do in order to become a knife fighter? The second part is going to cover off some of the knife fighting techniques, which is going to make me a little bit of an easier target out there, I suspect, because, you know, they seem unpredictable to someone on the destroyer end, but they're actually fairly predictable to someone who's on the cruiser end. Some of them, of course, are just gut reaction and go for it. The third thing that I'll cover is what I would call the in-between times. And this video that's currently playing in the background is a good example of what I'd call the in-between times, which is if there's only one destroyer or no destroyers in the game, what do I do? Now, I do get most valuable players in the VG using my guns in games that are majority battleships. I can do it. It is hard work, but it's very satisfying. So, you know, don't despair. If there's no destroyers in the game, you just need to adjust what you do, adjust your tactics, and work out how you're going to play. Right. So the basics. So the first basics is you've got to understand why you want to do this. I like sinking destroyers, which means that I'm prepared to take the risks required to get destroyers sunk. So if you're a safe player but you want to become a knife fighter because you think it would be cool, that may not be for you. If you just have an unreasonable hatred of destroyers because of the time that you spent in your battleship, then maybe this is something you might want to pick up. I mean, the first thing is, the motivation, because it is risky and you will lose ships, and sometimes embarrassingly fast. But once you get the technique down, your loss rate to destroyers goes very, very, goes right down. So, you do go through stages just like learning anything. Here comes a destroyer now. I finally found one. So if you've got that, okay, I want to do this. The second thing in preparation you need to do is you need to play some different ship classes. I hate to say this, but you're actually going to have to play some destroyers. And I don't recommend just any destroyers. I recommend that you grind yourself up the IJN line and you get yourself the Tier 4 Izakaze, the Tier 5 Minakaze, and you play the crap out of them. And what I mean by that is you get in there and you use them as stealth torp boats. You want to see what it looks like on the other side. What a destroyer who's looking at your cruiser, wondering what they should be doing, you want to get a really good feel for what's going through their head. So I recommend that you take one of those boats out, or you get the Kamikaze if you've got, a few gold hanging around. And you just basically go out there and you play some stealth torp games. They won't all be stealth torp games. I can knife fight in the Kamikaze and even in the Izakaze, and I think my Izakaze video that I have on this channel is very much a guns knife fight with the Izakaze. So, but yeah, it's obviously not built for it. But what you want to do is get a sense of what it looks like on the other side. What are they seeing when they're looking at you? So that's the first thing, right? Well, that's the second thing. You've got to be motivated. Properly motivated, not just, hey, it's cool. You've got to have a little bit of that rage. The second thing is you've got to know what it's like to be a destroyer. And yeah, so there may be other lines that you could try. The Russian line isn't going to teach you much. The German line may be a little bit, but basically you want those stealth torps because you want to be understanding how that aiming cone works, and how you miss and why you miss and what happens and all that sort of stuff. So definitely get yourself out there in a destroyer. The other thing to do is to actually play some other classes of ships. What do you look like to a battleship? Because battleships are your main problem. I mean, you know, people say that the Royal Navy cruisers are squishy, and they are squishy. They can take, you know, basically during the course of the game, I assume that I can take one broadside wallop. And if that happens to be the time that I take it, okay, well and good. But the reason to play a battleship is, what does it look like? Get used to understanding how long it takes them to reload, how long it takes them to turn their guns. If they're distracted, you know, how long before they can get into a turn. It's not so that you can really deal with them so much, attack them so much, as understand what you're looking at. When you're looking through your viewport, you can look at a battleship and you can say, that's a threat or that's not a threat, and I can go for this destroyer. So definitely recommend that you get yourself into a battleship. Anyway, that's the basics. The next video we'll talk a little bit about the knife fighting. I mean, the destroyers that we'll be covering. You know, the videos that I'd use for this would be the Emerald, the Leander, the Fiji, or the Edinburgh. Those are the prime knife fighting tiers for British destroyers, to deny a little bit. But yeah, anyway, that's the first video. I hope you find this interesting, and for those of you that are looking to become nasty little knife fighters, I hope you look forward to the next installment. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.